Making of Cloud by J. Cooper, formerly Benjamin J. Cooper. In the beginning, I was a young boy, about 15, and I had been starting up to do business studies as well as acting, but I'd already become part of the music industry as well. And from that point, I realized I had some ideas, some inventions, so I already had made several inventions, basically drawn down, put into blueprint form. This had been extended through to 1993, 1995, 1997. By this time, I had also come to grips with not being able to fund the cloud project. The cloud project was something I had thought about for a long time. You see, this cloud project had been something that had been a thought process of mine after a dream, after a vision, and the cloud project itself was actually one of the best ideas I've had, was to form inside a virtual space an actual physical hard drive, shop spaces, businesses, places where we can make passports to any country in the world, places that we can send things back and forth with no taxes, with no fees. But there may be some laws, but the laws were not in place back then to be. So it was very easy to send products through a virtual space. And actually, not many people have thought about that, except for myself. So they'd already got Windows 95 built with Bill Gates and his former employee, or his former business partner, I mean. So he'd already talked to me, said, oh, yeah, then I have $12 million left, and I've retired from it now. I've made a Windows 95, and I have the majority of the money, and Bill Gates is also a business partner. So from this point on, I talked to other people, and there was no one else. I talked to the founder of the internet, the person who made the internet connections that the military began using on, and you know, like the SMSs that Charles Tesla made before World War II, and that kind of technology. There was no one else except for myself. So I said, that's weird. Obviously, I'm a lot more intelligent than other people are. I'm only 15 to 17 years old. I've already come up with cloud. So I knew what I had was like very valuable. The 4 pages, manuscript, plus the drawing. It was like a cloud and then lines pointing out and saying migration, data migration from these old computers, Windows 95, these really, really slow computers, up into the web that was supposed to be like about at least 100 times faster, and from megabytes to be gigabytes. And then I named it terabytes for people who are IT professionals. I named it terabytes for them. And I said, what comes after terabytes? Because I could not think of anything. Around 2014, I said, I think we can call it petabyte or petabytes, because we're being petty about it. So I decided to call it petabytes, and petabytes now in 2024 is only coming out now. So I named this migration data thing, migration data for cloud, Australian worldwide services, because I'm Australian, AWS. So that's why it's called AWS, even though Americans are using it. So they claim it's like an American thing, but it started with me. I'm the real founder of cloud. My father would not input any money into cloud. My mother offered me $10, I think. My father said nothing, because he's an engineer and he had to support a family. He's very skeptical. For me, I went into Brisbane City, Queen Street, asking how do I get this sold to the government. And I went around asking people to talk to me to, don't want to sell it. I want to sell it for $8 million to the Queensland government, to Australian government. They told me I have to patent this for about $5,000. Plus I have to have a working prototype. So the working prototype is about $100,000 to build it when I was like 19. So my car was only worth $700 because I have second-hand Toyota Corolla for $700, K70 Japanese car. That's all I have, like that, and some jeans and some boots, and a lot of intelligence and a very fit person because I did a lot of martial arts and fitness. So, okay, so maybe I can come together and sort out $7,000 because I've been working for 3 years in a small job. So I couldn't even get a patent. Maybe I could get a patent and manage to make it to the end of a year with petrol for the car and seeing people or friends. Maybe, going to work, maybe I could have done that. That's why I asked my father, hey Dad, can you give me $100 grand? So he said, no way, no chance in hell. So how about my inheritance coming early? Not yet, because your grandfather's still alive, not yet. So I tried to get Microsoft called, and they called me back straight away, like 2 emails. They got back to me like in 10 seconds. That was very impressive because back then nobody had any new ideas like Windows or Apple was like the basic first Apple computers. That was all they got. It was just like the most basic stuff. Windows was like probably one of the most advanced things they ever had. Like even the internet connections are under 12 megabytes a second download. They were so slow. They used to take 20 minutes just to download folders. Like download like a gigabyte would take like half an hour just to onto a hard drive. It would take forever. So basically, I got in touch with the Microsoft engineer, the main one who made Windows 95, and he's telling me he's retired soon because he's made Windows 95. He's had enough. But he's on a gag order, so he can't talk to anyone else about any other kind of work that's in conflict with Microsoft for over 5 years, maybe up to 8 years. Because I tried to get him to come work for me for free. I said, well, I've got cloud, I've made cloud. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but this is bigger than Windows 95. Like, this is the biggest thing ever. Windows 95 is Bill Gates stuff and all the stuff he does, but I've got cloud. This is like way bigger. Like, there's no computer, no spaceship, no robot, no flying car, no bank. No one in the world can do that cloud. Why do I know? Maybe it's me because I have spiritual things about myself. Maybe I'm born like this. This is who I am when I was born. This is who I'm supposed to be. I have lots of skills and this is my life story. So he said, it will take me maybe 2 years to build cloud for you if this is what is really true, and I'll need 70,000 US per year. And I said that's ridiculous because even the office workers only get $21,000 back then, or $20,000 when I was 19. So if you're not a manager of business and you're like, like say a supervisor under, it's only like $20,000 or $19,000 for a business in the city. And I said, that's ridiculous what you're asking, it's bullshit. It'll be like maybe $6,000. So I'll give you my $7,000, I have to do it. He said, no, Bill Gates paid me $70,000 for 2 years. Bill Gates has now given me a rise for the next Windows. We're going to make another one maybe, and I'm going to get $70,000 a year. So I said, this is rubbish. So I called Bill Gates because I was interested to find out Bill Gates. I'd already talked to him once before just about business. And he picked up straight away, like he talked to me straight away, like immediately to me. And he said, yes, I might give him a raise soon. I'd like to keep him on. And there's that much money. And I still to this day don't believe it is, but that's what they've told me. So obviously Windows took the guy 2 years to make one part of the program for cloud. That's what he claims. So anyway, I'm in a position where I have to hold on to cloud and keep it a secret for like probably to 2010 or something, till I get like a couple $100,000 spare money around everything else, maybe 400,000. And Bill Gates said to me, oh, well, you could go to Sydney and walk around and get some fundraising down there, because that's the only place I know that I can help you to get fundraising if you go to Sydney. So, because I was going to in Brisbane, I had no luck. No one even wanted to give me like $200. But I didn't go into the business offices and I didn't advertise myself on the internet because the internet was so slow. I should have held a conference, but I didn't. So my father said, yes, I can take you to Sydney for a week for free before I go work overseas, because he began to work overseas in Vietnam and Asia. So my job working for him as an engineering office worker assistant and supervisor was almost finished for me too. My job was finishing with him. So I said, yeah, I'd like to go, but how much will I need? And he said, well, I can take you for a week for free. Bill Gates said it will probably cost you maybe $17,000 for 1 year. So that would dry up like a heap of money for me that I need. So I said, Peter, my father, Peter Cooper, said, why don't you just go for like 2 weeks? I said, okay, fine, I could go for 2 weeks. I could walk around to different offices like Apple and Oracle and different places asking for support on cloud. So I sent an email down to some businesses down there, came back and said they'd have to organise a meeting with me and I'd have to be down there. And I'd have to have a presentation, I'd have to have a completed product to show, not just like drawings. So I have just drawings and blueprint sketches, no completed project, because it costs a lot of money to build. So that's what they told me. I said, okay, fine. So I've got some kind of an answer before I go to Sydney. I need to have a patent product and I need to have it completed. Okay, fine. So that's going to clean out basically all my money to get that done. Maybe up into 2018, that will clean out my whole bank account. So I said, I do need fundraising. So I said, well, I need your money. Put in $1 million. And they wouldn't listen to me. So I tried, but obviously I needed to go there and actually talk to them more and actually do more work on the patenting side. But I just said to myself, this is really important. I think I should work with Bill Gates. So for some reason. So when Bill Gates agreed to work with me on that, he invited me to move to America in 1997. And he said, you'll become an American, you're going to live with me. And I said, oh, what about rent and stuff like that? Because it's going to cost me a lot to stay in America for like 10 years. And he said, no, I'll cover all your food and you can stay with us. We'll do it for you. My parents didn't really want me leaving when I was a minor until I was older. So when I was a little bit older, I went to university and I was called many times in 2005, 2006, said you have to come here soon. Like we discussed, and actually you'll have to put in like at least 40,000 to 80,000, maybe over 110, but we'll need you to put something in. And that's why I've been saving up my money. So when I got to that point, I was at the end of my bachelor's degree in international Asian studies, doing like a diplomacy, like for embassies, as well as like looking at some international business. I had music albums I'd written. I had movies offered to me, like 10 movies already that I have to pay for as well, lots of things. So I said it's a hard decision where to put my money. Like I'm already investing, I'm making lots of money on investing on the stock market. Before the Asian crisis, I was winning money every week on the stock market, like big money. So I didn't want to give that up. I was just winning. I was living like a king. Going out in Brisbane CBD, the drinks were like $2 each on the cheap student nights. So I had like 10 grand in my wallet, or $25,000 a fortnight coming in from share winnings and stuff like that. I had lots of money coming in. But most of the time I just spend on uni fees, and most of the time I just spend on bills and stuff, to be honest. And that was interesting times, because Bill Gates stopped talking to me then, because I wasn't there. He expected me to live with him for at least 10 years, and Melinda Gates came and said, well, you told me to call you, like this is the time you have to come, your degree's not finished. It's like, the start of 2006 to mid 2006. You have to come now. This is it. We don't even know the cloud might be finished getting built by the end of 2006, and you need to put your name down as a founder officially on paper with us, and you're going to be a partner with Bill Gates for the cloud part of Microsoft Windows. So we can't like say that you made Microsoft Windows, but for the cloud, for Microsoft Windows, you'll be the founder. Your name will be on there, Benjamin J. Cooper. You will be it. And the other part with Bill Gates. And she said, I'm not sure $40,000 is going to be enough. I might need 110, but we'll do it for you because, you know, you're a good guy. You're in the Western nation and we know you're a good person and we'll do it for you. I was like, awesome, like, that's freaking awesome, but I don't want to give this money away. Like, I made this cloud, this is mine, and this is the problem when I made it. Then I wrote down on the 4 pages, one of the pages, it said, I must share in a part of all the money that comes to cloud. So everybody uses cloud has to send me at least 15% of their income coming from cloud. And that was so I could become a trillionaire, because all of my inventions, all of my songs, everything will make me a trillionaire. Then I can apply to become president. If I'm not smart enough to get the presidency, I just don't think that way, whatever. I can help a lot of people with charity, with famines and stuff like that. I'm not just talking about just saying this stuff and like saying I've got a foundation and giving someone $1,000 tax deduction or so. I'm talking like really bringing it home for people, like really bringing home to Australia and really fixing a lot of problems and stuff. Like, that's what it was about for me. But I had access, other people had more money and more success in New York and businesses to get this stuff off the ground, because this is really important that we get this and not like someone else that we get it. Like, so I just decided we need to get cloud, and I told the Australian government many times, like in Brisbane, I said, you're going to lose cloud to Americans. Like, you're going to lose cloud. Like, if you don't listen to me, if you don't pay me $5 million for cloud and I'm 19 years old, if you don't pay me, my parking for Brisbane City was like 20 cents for 2 hours. That's how cheap things were back then. So I just parked my car in the middle of Brisbane City in the busiest streets for 20 cents for 2 or 3 hours on the meter. And I know if you don't pay me $5 million, you're going to lose cloud. This is your big chance for the Australian government to get a lot of money with me. Same story, have to have a patent, have to have a working product, have to see that it's been successful and all this shit. So that was it for me. I said, I'm doing things with Bill Gates. That's it, because I was even out with Elon Musk, because I met Elon Musk when I was like 14 or 15 at Apple, when my father, who was an engineer, went there to do some work with someone else called Carl, who was working at Apple in Milton, Australia. So I'd already met Elon Musk as well. But the thing is, it kind of started around with Bill Gates as a product. Bill Gates has Windows 95, and that was a product. Even they didn't have Amazon then. So I met Jeff Bezos in 2006. I'll talk about that in another video. So anyway, what happened was I got into a relationship and I was busy with my degree and things happened. I went to Korea to teach English and I dropped that and I came back and I said, oh gosh, it's almost 2007. I was supposed to go to the United States to see Bill Gates. And they said, actually, it's not too late, because actually it's been delayed. The project was delayed. We're going to bring out cloud and 4G in 2008. So 2008 was going to be the time we're going to bring cloud out. No one else in the whole world knew this, just myself, the people who are making it, that's all, no one else. Maybe the people who patented it, or maybe some people in the government, that's it, no one else. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I just had to move out of my house because I finished university, and then we just had the Asian financial crisis and everything's crashing down. I didn't even have a job for like 6 months. Then I began working. I was like, I was looking at buying a house that was cheaper, but it was still too much money in Brisbane, right in a really busy area. Like, that's probably worth over $1 million now. Still couldn't get that done, but I could get half of my wallet cleaned out, or 70% of my wallet cleaned out for Bill Gates to get cloud done. So it's a really big dilemma. In the end, I was so late that they'd already done cloud. So now I've got 4G done 2008, and the cloud has begun now. And because it wasn't patented in my name from the very beginning, Amazon is using cloud now as well in the migration services. They've made $258 billion or something, or $25 billion in 2024 on Amazon migration, where they migrate company and business data up onto the cloud. So Jeff Bezos didn't pay me, Bill Gates didn't pay me. They owe me a lot of money. But the interesting thing is Jeff Bezos didn't pay Bill Gates, because Bill Gates said, well, we done cloud, but they know it's me. Jay Cooper is a new name, or Benjamin J. Cooper, the previous name, so they know. Both of those people are supposed to pay me for cloud, and Zuckerberg for Facebook is supposed to pay me for cloud as well. So I would be the richest man in the world now. I'd be a trillionaire. And it's not just because of cloud, it's because all the other products are cloud. Like, we've got hotels, bookings, banks. You don't have to line up anymore. You don't have to go to work. You can work from home. You can storage personal files and photos online. You can put all the work files online and move your workforce in one day. So you can pack up like 10,000 chairs into trucks and move into another office on the other side of town in one day, because there's no computer movements. The computers in there are just like cheap throwaway computers, or you can just take laptops and go somewhere else to another building. It's much quicker because there's no giant hard drives you have to move and be careful, and the security, everything's up on the cloud. So there's a lot of money on that. Even the people working overseas, they can't even work online before. The internet was so slow. They can't work for any countries overseas. So if you're in Asia, you can't work for an Australian company unless you're on cloud. It's impossible. Everything's too slow. You have to have the work done within 20 minutes for your boss. You can't email hundreds and hundreds of files. You can't like work online. In Office online, they have Microsoft Office online when you work together in the files and you send them back and forth. That's all cloud. That's all from me. So I'm like ranked as the third best inventor in the world, and that's because I didn't create electricity. I didn't create the very first internet, but I created a lot of other inventions like cloud. And Charles Tesla did SMS and things like this, and submarines. And Benjamin Franklin did electricity. So for me, electricity and the internet are the two most important inventions, as well as weaponry, of course, and stuff like that. But you'll starve yourself to death and dry out in the desert without electricity, because you need electricity for air conditioning and stuff. So that's a lot of interesting inventions anyway. But that's the story of cloud. So right now, what's going on with cloud is we're on 4G, 4GX, 4G Lite. Now we're going to 5G. 5G is up to 1 gigabyte speed. And one of my other inventions, which is 5G MMWW, which I don't know anything about. I just came up with it, and the IT people made it for me, which is I wanted to make a internet that's 5 times faster. So 5G MMW is the next 5G coming out, which is going to be over 5 to 10 gigabytes a second download. The upload, I'm not sure. It's going to be at least half a gigabyte upload a second. So that's going to change everything forever. That's going to be massive. So you'll see that. And also the terabyte or tera something. The chips, the new chips coming out for the computers was one of my ideas. It's 15 times faster than the normal computer chips. That might not be out to 2030, but that was one of my ideas when I made cloud as well. So all the IT experts in the world have talked to me before, online, back in those days, and they're all working on things now. So that's the first story about cloud for you guys.